Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Debbie with Basket Case Mama Fat Fine. This is my morning voice. It's very early. I haven't even had coffee yet. Um, I didn't do anything yet. I came in here because I have a limited amount of time this week. We are going to be doing something for my birthday for a few days, and I'm trying to kick out things. And I haven't done a video in like 2 weeks because there was Easter and just, chaos rules some days. It just does. But I do have some stuff that I want to get some of these videos done. So you might see me wearing the same thing a couple times over the next few days. It's just because these videos all got done in one day. But I want to do over some because I found some treasures. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So I am going to try to pop them up and give you some background, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm back. I had to pause it for a minute because my best laid plans were to have everything like in the bag next to me, and then I realized I'm gonna have to bend and do all that stuff. I'm still gonna have to bend because this is the second time recording this because the lighting in here is terrible, and I've just made peace with the fact that the lighting in here is terrible. So I'm really sorry, and it'll just have to be that way today. But anyway, so the first thing I found is this. So for those that know, if you know, you know. This is a LL Bean boat and tote. You can see it because again, the crappy light. Oh, there we go. There you go. Boat and tote. So these are usually big, like big tote bags to take on your boat. This is a little mini one, and I didn't even know they made little mini ones, but I knew that the big ones do really well, and go for a great deal of money. But so I figured $30, $40, right? That'll be great. Oh no, that's not right. And I spent $1 for it, so it would have been okay if it wasn't like bread and butter. But oh no, the little ones go for like upwards of $200. That's what they are selling for, by the way. That's what they have sold for, not what they are selling for. You can ask anything. You can make up numbers and just sell them for anything, but it actually is sold for. Um, there a red and blue one sold for I think $398 or something. This one specifically has sold for right around 200 several times in the last couple of years. So whether I'll get that, how long it takes, those things, I don't know. How many are online now? How many people are trying to sell for 30? Those things all do make differences in what you can actually get for it. However, yeah, it's definitely probably worth more than $30 or $40. And we're gonna see what it does. I might just put it up for an auction and see if it goes for, upwards of $100 or whatever. So that was exciting. That was exciting. There were a couple exciting things. There was a thing also that was exciting, so exciting that I didn't know what to do about it. So I actually reached out to Rebel to ask her. And if you don't know who Rebel is the Rebel reseller. She lives in Tennessee. We are not personal friends. But she is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to plush. And plush, if you do not know, is what people refer to as stuffed animals because they have a plush fabric on them. So, like this little guy, he's got a plush furry fabric and plush because they're stuffed, because they're squishy. So, that's what plush are. And plush is something she has exceeding knowledge is exceedingly knowledgeable about. She's been doing it for 20 some years, and she does have a YouTube channel. She and her husband Robert, so check her out. I'll put her link in here. And so I reached out to her because she might know. And I'll have that in another video when I get an answer. But the answer is when you have something, though, sometimes it's just really rare or unique or there's none to compare it to. The solution is often to price it way, way high and put it on auction and see what develops. Sometimes nothing will develop and it won't help, but you can list something for auction a couple times, just kind of see, get a feel for it, because you just never know how that'll go. And there are things that sell on auction frequently and you'll see prices. So, you know, you don't know what you don't know. So I asked her thoughts on this weird thing that I found, and I will share it in another video because I actually found two things: one normal, one very weird. So the same thing, by the way. So, but we'll get into that the next time. So this little guy here is a Build-A-Bear. I know, look how cute. He's a little teeny Westy Build-A-Bear. He's got his little Build-A-Bear ball right there on the side, and a teeny tiny Build-A-Bear tag. So these are actually some kind of littles or Build-A-Bear littles that they had at some point. And for the this was from the little thrift shop, so 50, probably 25 cents because he's little. Um, so this will probably sell for like bread and butter, but around 20. So that's not terrible for something little, and he's cute, and I like cute. And he's little, because storage for plush takes a lot of room. I have totes that have all my plush in them, and every time we go in, we're always surprised that more things will fit in there. Quite frankly, but they do. But it's getting to a place now where, and we're going to be moving, that it's becoming very limited space for the the plush storage. So, and I do sell everything. I don't just sell plush. I just like it. It's so cute. Look how cute. Isn't this cute? It's a platypus with glitter paws and glitter nose, and it's like a beanie blue, beanie boo. It is a Thai. Her name is Wilma, because of course it is. I just kind of love it when they name them funny names like that. She is not terribly old. She's not vintage Thai or anything crazy like that. Now, some Beanie Boos do okay. Some Beanie Boos don't do okay. They all do better than Beanie Babies, no doubt. My eyes aren't working this morning, but I want to say it says 2018. So, but she's cute and glittery, and like I just thought she was adorable. And she's actually worth about 25. She previously sold for $25. So that is not too shabby. So this one here is weird, right? Isn't he cute? He's in a dragon costume. Check him out. He's also got his tag on here, and his name is Mr. Piffles, and it says he is the world's only magic performing Chihuahua. Super cute. So now, Mr. Piffles, from what I understand, because I hadn't heard of Mr. Piffles before. By the way, he has a hood too that goes up, so you can make him look like a real dragon. There you go, a real magical dragon. So Mr. Piffles, um, from what I understand, the poor little real Mr. Piffles is now gone to over the Rainbow Bridge. But Mr. Piffles was a real Chihuahua, little white, apparently long-haired Chihuahua, and Mr. Piffles was part of a Las Vegas act with a magician, and he was a magical dragon Chihuahua supposedly. So this is from a Vegas show, new with tags, and so this is like a small batch kind of a plush thing, but he is sold previously for this exact same one for $50. So we'll see about that, because that was a surprise. I just thought he was cute. So this weirdo. So yes, this is a dog. It's tie-dyed. It's got a plastic face. So, and it's called Puppy Surprise. Now, Puppy Surprise there's vintage ones too. This is not a vintage one, by the way. But she's got her collar, which is great because often they don't. She's in pretty good shape. Now, the other thing that Puppy Surprises have, which is a surprise, hello, is their tummies open up because we need that. They have like hook and loop in there, and inside there's puppies or kitty cats. There's kitty surprise ones too. So usually this pouch here is empty. I have an armadillo that had babies in it that doesn't, because I didn't know what the pouch was for until much later. Glitter ears on this one. And then there's another one. So the more puppies, the better, oftentimes with these. This one has 3 puppies, which isn't bad. I was pretty excited that there were any puppies, gotta say. When I saw it with Puppy Surprise, I was like, oh, that's nice, but there won't be any puppies. Because there's never any puppies. But this one had puppies. I was pretty excited. So, again, this is from the little thrift shop, so it's a 50 cents. And it came with the puppies. I was just tickled pink about that, right? And I thought the tie-dye was really cute. And this one goes for $35. The specific one has sold previously for $35. So that was exciting, because not all the more recent stuff does quite that good. Most of it's bread and butter, it's okay. Now, Okay, so the bag that I put here that would help me just put things away because it would make things go faster, and I thought that would be nice and simple to do, is apparently the only bag in the whole wide world that doesn't know how to stand up. That's right, because I didn't have coffee, and I need to have all the struggles I can get early in the morning. By the way, I say early. It's when I started it was 5:30, so it's probably around 6 now. Anyway, so this is one leather shoe, but there's two leather shoes. The other leather shoes in the bottom of the bag, and I left it there so the bag would stand up. It's been a big fail thus far. So anyway, this is in decent condition. These are made in Brazil. I don't know if you can see in there, but it does say, oh, there you go, made in Brazil, and it's by a maker called Donato Marone. So these are in really decent shape. There's a little scuff on the front, but I have like a leather conditioner by Martens, Doc Martens, the boot stock market Martens, makes a conditioner that's great for cleaning up sneakers and leather shoes and getting rid of scuffies and things like that. So I recommend getting on Amazon, but I recommend that highly. So I'll clean them up because they're in really good condition. Look at the bottoms, or they look like they were hardly worn at all. And these went I've sold in the past for this exact pair for $35 recently. So I probably can get $35 for them. Great. So this guy here, for those that are living under a rock, is Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, actually, it's not Sonic; it's Shadow, but it's from the show Sonic the Hedgehog. So, so I don't live under a rock, and I knew there were other characters, and I knew that Sonic's blue, and this was Sonic, only not blue. So it would be something to do with Sonic. My child, my older child, who is a pastor and a video game nerd from way back, would have known immediately who this was. But I was like, it's the Hedgehog guy. It's like I'm not a video game guy, but I knew the Sonic stuff does well. I know some of the Pokemon stuff does well, and there are a few others. And anything that has an anime face, I always look up because some of the Japanimation stuff also does well. I know the terminology because my son is in media arts, and he's actually that's what he went to college for. So I've been exposed to that. Otherwise, I would be still under a rock, quite frankly. So don't take that as any kind of indication because I wouldn't have known otherwise. My daughter, absolutely no interest at all in video games. We had a Wii, and she just for a little while it was fun, and she preferred to hang out with her friends, because that's what girls are very social. Boys like to like video games were cool for my son. He's not antisocial and he never was, but he just liked you know having friends over and playing video games. That was how boys socialized. I don't know. That just was. But this particular guy here has a Sega tag, and some of these have sold for around $75. So we'll have to see. Some of them sell for way, way more. Okay, I'm not sure what the thing about it depends. There's like the Comic Con ones. There's like lots of peculiarities, but the ones with the specifically with the tag that this is how plush works. Some of them, like especially video game plush, like if it has a specific tag and it's from a specific time and it's a specific date and it's very specific and it's in really good condition or not, or it has tags. All those things matter in the world of video game plush and things that are from animation, things that are older. So this one is not terribly older, I don't think. As I recall, it was less older, like 2020. So it's 5 years old, but it's in good condition. Um, it's not new with tags, but like I said, this is sold just exactly like this for around $75. So for Shadow, not for Sonic, for Shadow. Um, so the ones that aren't the main character always tend to do better. In most cases, same with Disney movie stuff. Like um, some of the stuff that's from certain movies that are more obscure um, do better, and then the market floods, and I've learned when you watch videos like this, make sure you look at the date that it was put up because things that are a couple years old, the trends change, the market floods, the prices will come down because everybody tries to sell their stuff. So just keep that in mind when you're out there and you're looking for things that the prices that some things will hold no matter what, but just they can fluctuate a lot from like what I say today to 6 months from now about something because so always look stuff up. But this is just kind of helpful. Keeps your eyes out. And I love to see, personally for me, to see what other people found. Like, and I'll be now I'm at a place where I'm like, ooh, that's good. Like that's a good thing. I know that, I know what that is, or I've seen that before. Or, oh, I just saw what the thing I hate is, oh my goodness, I just saw one of those yesterday and didn't pick it up. Because I don't look everything up. Obviously, be there for days. So lots of times I will look at something and think, man, that's nothing, and keep moving, and then discover later, oh, should have picked it up. But there'll always be more. Fear not, there'll always be more. So this little guy is a bunny doll, um, bald headed, and the bunny hood comes down, porcelain faced, mittens, got a little stuff here that has to be washed off, but it's white, and that is the only mark on it, which is awfully good because white is a tough, and it has like a gray blue in the ears. So I have been looking for this. It does not have a tag. It maybe did once upon a time. Um, Maybe House of Lloyd. Only I have a House of Lloyd one that's similar. It's bigger and it's not this face. This is a different porcelain face. I did look. I should have looked at the back of her head. Yeah, sometimes that'll help me. I didn't. Yeah, no. There's nothing. Nothing on the back of the neck. Nothing on the back of the head. Nothing helpful there. Nothing inside the hat. Just checking. I thought I did this once, but just checking. Yeah, I have no indication. Her little ribbon here is frayed, but that's easily fixed or not, depending on how much she's worth. Things that are worth more, I will spend time to repair, like do a repair if it needs it, because it'll make the value better. Things that are worth $20, whether it's fixed or not, and I want to just $2 different or something. I'm not spending that time to fix it. Okay, I'll mend a hole real quick, or put on a button on a pair of pants, or things like that. I can do little things like that. Well, I could do big things. I could make a dress for you if I wanted to, but again, it's time. Like I could like do things and like taking out zippers and putting zippers back in. It's going to depend. I have a purse here that I'm going to have to do that too because it's worth doing it. But it's going to be like a major thing to do, and I've been trying to fix the zipper, but I'm not going to be able to fix it without taking it out. And it's aggravating when I get something home and realize that I missed checking a zipper on something or something like that. So check the zippers all the time. But anyway, this little guy is, you know, going to be one of those hit or miss things. It could be worth $10. It could be worth $25. It could be worth $50. I have another one listed for I think around 40. This one looks older and a little different. This face, I can't find this face anywhere. I mean, you can find this face all over the place, almost exactly like it. Um, the pout and the depths of the cleft in the chin are very different, are different, but the face design is very similar. Um, it's so tricky. And I used to collect dolls, so that's the only reason I'm like very into like knowing no, that's not the same face mold. Um, so this face mold, there's lots that look very similar, not this one exactly. So I haven't been able to really narrow down what this is. The closest I've seen is House of Lloyd, and that's very possible because they did do lots of these kinds of bunnies back in the 80s and the 90s. Um, that was like a company where they did house parties and they had like homewares, and I think they might have owned Christmas Around the World as well. I'm not sure, but so that was like a thing, like back when home interiors was around and things like that. So very cool little doll stuffed, but I don't know. It's gonna be something I have to look into more. If I figure it out before I post this video, I'll pop it up. And if you happen to know what it is exactly, like I said, I think it's a House of Lloyd, but I can't find anything exactly on that one. And usually when I pick things up, I think, oh well, that there's lots of them. I'll find what I'm looking for. That was just one of the weird, like, why am I not finding this? Again, and it could be very good. It could be something very obscure, and that means it's worth a lot more money. But it's probably not obscure specifically. It's just like I'm not seeing that specific one up there. Oh, no, I have to repair that. It's got a little thing. Well, that'll be easy. But so anyway, this is slip. There we go. A slip. And I just saw where there's a little seam. The seam's coming apart. It's not a hole, it's just the seams undoing there a bit. And it is vintage, so that's kind of normal, but I don't think it's ever or barely been used. It's got lace at the bottom. It's just so pretty. So, again, this was like, I think $2 at my little thrift store, and I always go through lingerie for vintage stuff. This is, I think it's Vanity Fair. Let me see. Vanity Fair vintage stuff does very, very well. If you find it, you should pick it up. I highly recommend. Yes, it is Vanity Fair. There we go. And that's like an older tag. And it's made in the USA. Dead giveaway that it's older. None of it is made in the Vanity Fair is still around, but it won't be made in the USA nowadays. But although maybe again someday. People don't like the tariffs. Maybe they'll open back a factory here. So anyway, it was a slip, so I wasn't expecting much, but that particular slip has sold recently in the past for $100, like $100. So okay, good to know. And lingerie can do very well. Some of it does go for hundreds of dollars. For older, like pajamas, especially peignoir sets, older peignoir sets. Peignoirs are like a nightgown with a matching robe that's like a satiny, silky, like fancy, like for a wedding or romantic looking type things. So those can do extremely well. But even old house coats, like the cotton house coats that my grandma wore back in the 40s and the 50s, those sell pretty well too. Sometimes they're bought for props or for costuming by like Hollywood studios or New York Broadway shows because they need them for costuming. Sometimes you find that they get bought for that, which is nice. Sometimes it's lots of stuff is like that. Like I have soap that I'm selling, and sometimes some of that'll get sold for that. I sold something that was really weird to someone, and I really thought that it had to have been for that because I can't imagine it being bought for anything other than a prop. But you don't know. So, but yeah, old negligees, slips, underwear, granny panties. The rayon with lace, the granny panties that are like from the 60s, 50s. They sell for decent money too. It's weird. I'm not an underwear. I'm not going to underwear. Slips, nightgowns, yeah. Underwear is kind of weird to me. Um, Bras, yeah, that's okay. But panties, that I don't know that. I fear the weird people factor in selling those. I just do. I don't want to have to get into that. And we know, like, like I said, if you know, you know. Um, so this is a Longaberger tote bag. And it is like a breast cancer awareness. It says hope on it. It's pink with roses and stuff. It's got a gross grain ribbon handle. It's just a little cloth bag from 2009. It's called Horizon of Hope. Now, Longaberger are the basket people, and they have basket liners and all sorts of baskets. I generally don't pick them up because it's another flooded market kind of thing, and they're just not really valuable like they used to be. They used to be really sought after, but people aren't looking for them. Like the generation that's shopping on eBay right now is not something they're really looking for. Um, but when it comes to something that's breast cancer awareness, um, a lot of people are looking for stuff like this, supporting friends, supporting moms, supporting sisters, for themselves because they're in the battle. Um, so this kind of stuff does sell. And this one happens to be, it's like bread and butter, $15-$20. It's not like huge amount of money. This was actually in, I think I paid $1 for it. It was in with the plush that at the little thrift store, so that was kind of fun. So this guy here, and I did pay up for it, a whole $8, but this is a matchbox, and you put the long wooden matches in here, and you would strike it on here or the side. It's made of iron. It's cast iron. It has I don't know if you can see because the light's terrible, but there is okay, and I can't figure out what direction to go either. but there is a pattern on it. There's like a little farmhouse and a sunflower, and then at the top there's looks like a little like there's a house with a little road coming down and a fence. At first I thought it was a ladder, but it's a fence. um, but it's old. Um, it has like it's hooked on with these things in the back, like just like they took and bent a nail to hold it in there. So it has a little bit of movement, and the side has like ridges in it just to strike your match. It's very cool. It's very cool, and from what I can gather, it seems to be like it's pretty old as well, maybe antique old. Um, but people would put these next to their fireplaces or next to their potbelly stoves in their kitchen, and they would, they had to light their stoves. They would have this on the wall, and they would strike them. I think my grandma had one on the. We had a farmhouse down near the shore. Well, my grandparents had a farmhouse down there. We didn't have it. My grandparents had it when I was a little girl, and um, they might have had one hanging on the wall as an antique. I don't remember. I didn't cook. I was little. I didn't cook there, so I don't know. I made Jello. That was my big job, but I don't know if they had to light the stove or not. They might have, because lots of times the oven had to be lit. Like it didn't have an like today. We just turn the knob and it clicks, click, click, and then the oven lights if it's gas. But back in the day, you had to like there was a little hole and you had to turn the gas on. You had to stick the little the light down, like a long stick, like you were lighting a fireplace. You had to stick it down there and light the stove. So, and I remember when I was like a teenager, we had a stove where you had to light the stove. So, it's not like a lot of people had long matches, but like in the 70s, they came in like tubes and stuff. You didn't have a thing on the wall, unless you had an antique thing on the wall that you got just to have it on the wall. And that was back in the 70s. So I'm going to guess this is old, or at least old enough to be considered antique. And from what I found online, the prices are upwards of $100, depending on what's on them and the size of them. So this has got very cool design on it because it's got a flower, it's got a farmhouse. Farmhouse chic kind of thing is very in right now, and it's a really nice size for a utilitarian size. Because there's smaller ones that are called match safes, that are actually like a box that sits on a shelf that you can put the matches in. This one hangs on the wall, and you can put the longer ones in it. So it's kind of cool if you had a fireplace, or you could put it even outside because it's iron. It'll rust up, but it's iron, and for like a fire pit or something. So it's kind of cool, and like I said, it could go for between $100 and $150. So those are all the things in today's video. Ooh, and I'm under 30 minutes. Yay, me. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please hit the like button and subscribe so you know when I'm putting up videos. I am trying to do better at getting these up pretty regularly. I'm not going to get them up every day, at least not for this channel. There's another one that'll have stuff going up much more frequently once we get to that level, but we're not there yet. So I just appreciate you taking time to watch and hanging out with me for a few minutes this morning. I know you're probably still sleeping, but I'm up. So y'all have a great weekend. And I thank you so much for watching. Like I said, hit the notification, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and leave me a comment if you know anything about any of the items in this video. I would love to hear what you know or don't know or what you thought was cool, because I do look at the comments, and I will pop up an answer from time to time. I don't look at them right away. Time is my enemy, but I will check them out. So please do. And I appreciate you watching so much. Thank you. And I will catch you on the next one.